How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? As you probably see, I'm in a courtroom here because we're shooting a movie now. It's a comedy version of the 12 Angry Men, the classic that was made many years ago, and we decided to make a satire out of it. But this is not a satire. What I'm going to talk about to you now is deathly serious, because we're right now in the midst of a violently important election. You know, everybody tells you this presidential election is more important than any other. That's political jargon that you hear every time. But let me ask you a question. If a guy who's running for president has a background and a relationship and involved with the kind of people that are terrorists and violent haters of America, don't you think it's something unusual and rare, and it's a phenomenon of some kind that we should be very careful about, that we should be concerned about? Now everybody likes to brush it off. Well, he only knows Bill Ayers. It's not that important. So what if he knows a terrorist? He was friendly with him. He ran a conversation with him. And Barack Obama likes to tell you, I was just a neighbor of his. It's true he was just a neighbor of his, but what else was he? He was a lot more than a neighbor. He was on boards with him. He started his whole election campaign from his own house. His election campaign, the first time, was planned and all developed, all with the combination of forces all around Bill Ayers. They worked on it together for his whole campaign. And they've been working together in a million ways since then. And they found 100 relationships that he kept denying and kept pretending he never heard of.
Mr. Ayers is not involved in my campaign. He has never been involved in this campaign, and he will not advise me in the White House.
Now let me ask you a question. If he doesn't care, if he sees it so insignificant because this guy once created a terrorist thing when he was only 8 years old and the whole relationship means nothing, then why did he have to tell 300 lies about it? He lied about this relationship with Bill Ayers. A new part of their relationship is discovered every week. And then he says, well, that's also true, but it's not important. Then another thing he denies is, how do you like that? That also is true. I met him again, but it's not important. I worked with him, but it's not important. Like this whole Acorn situation.
Acorn is a community organization. Apparently what they've done is they were paying people to go out and register folks. And apparently some of the people who were out there didn't really register people, they just filled out a bunch of names. Had nothing to do with us. We were not involved. The only involvement I've had with Acorn was I represented them alongside the U.S. Justice Department in making Illinois implement a motor voter law.
He pretends Acorn has nothing to do with him. He never heard of it. It's an organization that he denies any connection to. As a matter of fact, he told them that you better be honest because otherwise I can't talk to you. I don't want to be involved with you or connected with you. I only deal with honest people. Then it turns out that his relationship with them is very involved, and he's a partner with them and involved with them for years and years. Only a few years ago, he was their lawyer, and he tried to hide that from your information. Only a few months ago, or maybe it's a year ago, he managed to bring to them $800,000 for their campaigns. And then he claims that he never knew the kind of things they were doing, buying votes, connecting with votes, and pulling together all kinds of fraudulent votes. He never knew, he never heard, he never saw. Now, let me ask you a question. If he was their lawyer and he brought them $800,000 and he's involved with them in a million ways, directly, intimately, personally, in a business way, in a personal way, and every other way, how could you be partners with these people and bring them $800,000 and be their lawyer and not know what the hell they do, that this is the most fraudulent organization in the world? That for the last 8 years they've been caught 100 times with crooked maneuvers, collecting fraudulent votes, telling people to register 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, and these are the witnesses. Every single day, you all of a sudden you find another kid who tells you they told me to register 20 times, 50 times, 30 times. One kid said 73 times. They said it's a lie. It was only 20 times. As if to say up to 20 is not bad. 21 is a problem. After that, it's a terrible problem because you shouldn't vote 21 times. That could screw up an election. But if it's up to 20, it doesn't matter. And that's his story all the time. One fraudulent story after another that has to come out piecemeal, little by little, each time, and each time he has to admit a new story about something crooked that was going on that he pretends he never heard about, and they go in pieces and pieces, and before you know it, they accumulate into one big fraud and one total lie that he was telling for years till he gets caught cumulatively over a period of time as a total fraud. He was caught as a total fraud in the Reverend Wright case. He was a total fraud in this guy Bill Ayers case. Now he's a total fraud with this whole Acorn Acorn story, and every time he tells 300 lies about each one of their cases, they're always found out later and later, little by little, while he threatens you not to mention it, and he threatens you not to discuss it. Then he says it's disgusting, only conservative commentators are talking about it, only liars have the nerve to bring it up. Don't think you're going to, but the economy is the issue, not fraud and lies and terrorists and thieves who's going to rob an election and may bomb the country and don't apologize to this day for bombing the country. They don't count and they don't matter. Undermining this whole country doesn't matter. Let's talk about the economy, about which he knows nothing. That's the only time he would be honest. If he told you he knows nothing about the economy, that it's not his business, that would be the truth. But when he tells you he knows nothing about all this, he's a praying liar, and he's lied 100 times about the same issue.
Mr. Ayers, I don't care about an old washed-up terrorist, but as Senator Clinton said in her debates with you, we need to know the full extent of that relationship. We need to know the full extent of Senator Obama's relationship with Acorn, who is now on the verge of maybe perpetrating one of the greatest frauds in voter history in this country, maybe destroying the fabric of democracy. Same front outfit organization that your campaign gave $832,000 for quote, lighting and site selection. So all of these things need to be examined, of course.
I'm going to